I'm making fish soup, and David said, let's film it. So that's what we're doing. You can see in the pot.
What do we have here?
We have some, David bought some fish yesterday, and the man who sold it to us threw in the heads too, and one of his boys said, oh, it makes good soup. So I threw in some fish heads, and we're just gonna simmer it down all day, and this evening we'll make it into soup.
You're cooking fish heads
Yeah,
for dinner.
yeah. It's gonna be really healthy.
Well, if they hadn't
Really
have
good
gone,
for you.
if they hadn't have gone in this stock, they would have gone into fish emulsion.
That's true.
I actually told the guy, throw those heads in. I don't want to lose those heads.
Okay, so
And then you got
asked-
creative with it.
Yeah.
So
It smells delicious, actually.
it does. The whole
You
house
don't-
smells amazing.
You don't have to think about it like I'm going to eat a fish head. You don't necessarily have to eat the head. You scoop that out. It just gives its lovely flavor to the broth, and then you add yummy stuff into that later.
And this is fresh caught tuna. I mean, amazing. Just pulled out of the ocean. Bought it by the side of the road, and it
Right,
smelled
super
great.
fresh.
And we had tuna steaks last night.
Yeah, really delicious.
Live like rich
it really
people.
does smell really good. I've never done this before, but I've read several recipes. That's how I cook. I read lots and lots of recipes, and then I kind of just make up my own thing, wing it from there with all the jumbled up recipes in my head, or sometimes I'll reference them, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
You cook like I garden.
Oh, I guess so.
Where's a head? Can I see a
Yeah,
head?
yeah, I'll put one in. Let's put it there. That. Ooh, see, it's already falling apart.
Whoa.
That was obviously the eye,
Look at that delicious eye.
mouth, teeth.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting.
It'll taste really good, I think. It's looking better, isn't it? I'm just going to top it off with a little more water. As you can see, we've got some evaporation going on here, so I'm just going to put in some more water till the water level rises again. But you can see that the water is cloudy. That means it's giving off, the fish heads are giving off all their yummy flavor. It really does smell good. So I'll just keep topping it off. So here's our finished fish stock. I strained all of the bones out of it. You can see here, all the crazy bones and things. And at this point, we'll use it to make soup. The rest of this will make a great addition to the compost pile. I've come down here to pick some green bananas for the soup. And I've only ever done this one other time before, so hopefully this goes well. I watched a man the other day hold on to the base, this long part here. He held on to that and cut up here, and I thought, oh, that looked easy. But of course, he knew what he was doing, so even though I'm gonna try to do it that way, it still may turn out kind of like a mess, but we'll see. Here we go. Not where I intended for that to go. But, you know, it's better than through my hand, right? The guy I watched didn't do it that way. But there we go. I got it down. Okay, like I said, time for soup. I'm loosely going off of a recipe, but when I don't have what it calls for, I'm substituting something else that I think might be good, or I'm just leaving it out altogether, and it'll still be good. It just won't be the original recipe that I started out with, which is fine. Doesn't matter. Make up a new name to tell your family what it is. So there you go. So we're making soup with the fish broth, and we know we're going to use some green bananas, and we're going to kind of wing it from there. Okay, I've got the burner on low, and I've got some garlic here. Unfortunately, I just looked and I only have 1 clove of garlic. That's not quite enough, so I'm going to end up using some of this powdered stuff, which is not my favorite, but you know, in a pinch, this is what we're going to do. So you didn't think this was like pro or anything, did you? Because, yeah, we're just kind of winging it. Hopefully David doesn't mind too much. Okay, here we go with the garlic. The humidity made it all stick together. Does it do that in your house? Just imagine lots of garlic. Let's say like, I don't know, a lot. Do you like garlic? I like garlic. I think the original recipe calls for 4 cloves, and I'm tripling the recipe. So that would be a lot of garlic. But I like garlic, like I said, so we'll just leave that out because we may need more. Let's see what's next. Little salt. Black pepper. You know, I think I'm going to put some onion in there too. That's where we're going to get fancy. The original recipe does not call for onion, but you know what? It called for garlic, and I didn't have quite enough garlic, so we're just going to throw in more onion, or onion where it doesn't even call for it, because, you know, we're making it our own. Didn't you always want to be a chef? If you change one thing, now it's yours. Isn't that sort of encouraging? You just created a dish.
Want some moringa?
Yeah. So moringa, that's something else we can add that wasn't in the original, but it'll taste, actually it won't taste like much of anything, but it'll be very good for you. So I've got 2 onions. We're just sauteing these in a little coconut oil. If I had butter, I would have used butter, but I'm out of butter. Now coconut oil is nice, but come on, butter. Don't cry. It's okay. So, I'll let you in on a little secret. Almost any recipe that I follow, I almost never, unless it was like Thanksgiving or something, I almost never follow the recipe to a T. I almost always go down the list. Okay, what's the fat used? Okay, put that in first. Okay, what are the vegetables and the spices? Okay, put that in second. And then, okay, what's the meat? Okay, then I'll put that in. And I just kind of look at the ingredients list and just kind of throw it in there. So it always works out just fine. It's edible, it tastes good, and it may not be exactly what the recipe was, but it tastes good, and you can then come up with your own name for it. And it's like you created something amazing that you did, rather than somebody else's recipe, which is, it's kind of fun. And it doesn't take that much creativity. They did half of it for you. Did I put the pepper? No, I didn't put that in yet. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Pepper, black pepper. Just, you know, however much you think you might like. Okay, this recipe calls for lemon or lime. got a little lime here. I am going to put it in, but I think I'm not going to put it in just yet. Let me see what else is on the list. Okay, because the lime is a wet ingredient, and right this second I'm sauteing, I'm going to proceed with some of my other ingredients that I would like to saute in the fat with the onions, and we're going to go in that direction with flavor. And then we're going to add more wet ingredients. So the next thing we have are yams. Have you seen a yam that looks like this before? This is an African yam, and it's not like a sweet potato at all. It's a lot like a white potato, but you peel it, and it's actually, unfortunately, I don't want to put you off, but it's kind of slimy under the skin. But you just peel it in the sink, and then you can chop it up. I'm going to chop it into like chunks, I think, and throw it in. And after it's cooked, it's not slimy anymore, and it tastes very much like a white potato. But they get huge. They get like, oh, enormous. Can you imagine a white potato that big? So here, we're gonna peel this. Okay, so here is one of the yams, all peeled. It's a little slimy, but it's not as slimy as some of the other ones I've done. Looks strange, doesn't it? But really, just like a white potato. So I'm just going to cut it up and toss it in. Okay, so I just cut them up like, can you see that? About that big. Here's what we have so far: the onion, garlic, salt and pepper, and the yams. Next up are the green bananas. The best way to do these that I have found is to cut the ends off and then score them 3 or 4 times down, not all the way through, just to score them. And then you can peel the green part off. I'll show you in just a minute. Got it scored. Not, there you go, see? Now you can peel them like that. Okay. So I've got about 9 of them. Gonna cut them up into, I'll probably cut this in half lengthwise, and then throw them in, because I like them kind of on the small side. I think they taste better when they have more surface area to get full of flavor. There we go. I cut it lengthwise and then cut it into little chunks. Okay, we have the green bananas in there now, along with the dumplings. Looking good. I have some pumpkin that I cooked earlier in the day, and it's cooled and peeled, and I cut it up into little bits, and we had it for lunch, and now I have some leftovers, so I thought, well, I'll just throw it in the soup, so I'm going to do that now. Pumpkin. These are paprika. I'm gonna just cut the tops off, mince them, and throw them in. They're ever so slightly spicy. They have a really nice sort of, I don't know, delicious flavor. Here's a bay leaf. Some friends gave us some bay. When they gave it to us, it was green. big stalk of lovely green leaves, and now it's turned brown, but it still smells really good, so we're just going to throw that into our soup. What soup is really done without bay? Now I'm going to throw in the moringa that David brought me. It's here's how I get it off the stem, just like this. See, this is the end of the stem, and here's where it's attached to a longer stem. Just grasp it here and kind of twist and pull, and there you go. You've got a handful of moringa leaves, and the stem stays behind. Most of the stem, at least. It's similar to how you would just do any other herb. Okay, now we have the moringa in there. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay, now I'm going to put in the fish stock that I made earlier. I don't know how much I'm going to use. I'm just going to kind of pour it in, and we'll just wing it. There's a little left, but I'm going to give it a stir and see how it looks. You know what, I'm debating on adding dumplings to this, so I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the stock in. There we go. Alright, now bring it up to a boil and simmer it for, I don't know how long, we'll see. Just simmer it for a little bit. Smells good. Okay, I decided I am gonna try and make some dumplings to put into this soup. I've never made the type of dumplings that the recipe calls for, and it's not particularly descriptive. It just said to mix some flour and water together. You can add, and it said you can add a little baking powder so they're not too dense, and they need to be somewhat dry. So we're gonna just experiment and see what we get. Hopefully it turns out well. Have you ever made snakes out of clay when you were a kid? These dumplings are supposed to be made in a similar fashion. So I really hope I'm doing this the right way. Like I said, the directions were a little sketchy. So we're just gonna make them and see how it goes, and then we know for next time. I'm just about done here, and then we're gonna put them into the soup, which tastes good, by the way. I have no idea how long the dumplings will take to cook. We'll find out. Okay, here we go. Oh, they're already starting to pop up. I have really no idea. It's been a long time since I've made dumplings, and I'm certainly not proficient at it. I want to know if the dumplings are done.
And I'm here to test them. Yeah, they're good. They're perfect. I love it. I love it. This is beautiful. You've got like snake and fish soup. It's very good. It's snake soup. It's very good. Very good. I love it.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to post the recipe over at thesurvivalgardener.com. You didn't see that.